What's up, audiophiles? Peter von Panda here. Hey, I just bought this ANC Tsumbay active noise canceling headphones. I've been into headphones lately. I use them for a lot of stuff when I'm outside working, just hanging out. The active noise cancellation is great for being on trains and planes since I'm having to do quite a bit of traveling these days. As I unbox it here, I think the case for buying headphones is still very strong, especially when you don't want to bother other people. But not only that, the case for getting headphones without active noise cancellation, I think, is getting very weak, right? Because the active noise cancellation, once reserved for only very high-end phones like Bose and a number of those brands, now can really be had for, I think, really, very little money. And the Cohen and the other headphones that I've showed you with active noise cancellation have worked so well. Maybe they're not quite as good. It's hard to compare them when you're not doing it side by side. But it's so good that, headphones that I would use previously on airplanes, or try to use, I should say, and that wouldn't work at all because you just get so much of that white noise on the airplane rumble and on trains and on car rides that it was basically unusable. To have it with the active noise cancellation feature has been such a game changer where I can listen to things and I don't have to blast it, and I'm not listening to things so loud that I'm annoying people that are around me, is just huge. And so the fact that you can find headphones, like I said, for a fraction of what like Beats headphones or something would cost, or Bose for that matter too, is awesome. It's absolutely awesome, and I'm really stoked. And so I just wanted to try out a variety of these and see what I thought and help you buy yours. Now, these are from Tsumbay. They're all black construction. They're actually pretty light. They feel pretty robust. Everything's like a rubberized plastic. This feels like it's a leather-covered cup here, and I'm assuming it's like a rubber or silicone. It's really, I'm tapping my fingers on it, fingernails. You can hear how dull that is because it's really a soft. It actually feels quite premium. This is all hard plastic here. These black pieces here, but this, it's a real soft rubber, which is kind of nice. I'm assuming it helps with dampening noise and vibration as well. And you can see here we have a 3.5mm jack, a hole there either for a light or a microphone. I'm assuming that's a microphone because it looks like we have a little clear filled hole there, which would probably be the LED light, and then the micro USB charging port there. And then we have a power button, noise cancellation, and then volume up and down rocker right here, which is also probably your forward and reverse buttons as well. It is hinged in the middle, so you get some swivel like that. It's also hinged at the band, so it will move back and forth. And as you can see, the band is slightly canted, backwards or forwards, I guess, depending on which side you want to wear these on. But this is the right side, so it's actually canted a little forward. Maybe a little hard to see. Intentional, I'm sure. Nice big foam cup here, or ear cup, and covered in like a pleather, but very, very soft. That's going to create a nice seal, and nice and big too. I like when they're big and they kind of really are truly over the ear. You've got the right and left silk screened on a little, a kind of nylon covering right there. I can feel the plastic speaker cover behind it. Left on this side, not perforated, so you should get no sound leakage at all. The Tsumbay, a plastic, portion of the band right here, and it looks like this is where it'll extend. And that looks like a metal, kind of a sheet metal brace, and then a plastic bottom, but then you've got little clicks, little detents to hold it in place. That's about the extent of what it extends to, and then you get that on both sides, so you should get pretty nice, adjustment for your head. And then you have a padded, like in a pleather material up here, and as you can see, it feels like there's that metal piece continues in the middle here, and there's padding on the top of the bottom, so both the top and the bottom give a little. That should be pretty comfortable. So now what I want to do is power this thing on, charge it up, pair it to my phone, powering it up there. Oh, there's the little LED light. And it's in pairing mode, so I'm going to pair it up and then listen to some music and give you some of my thoughts. All right, guys. So I've been playing around with these Tsumbay headphones, and I'll just throw them on here. I've got them adjusted, and even though I have a giant pumpkin-sized head, I'm actually not using the full extension here on the headband. They fit really nice, and they do completely cover my ears. My ears are not being pressed down by the ear pads at all. The ear pads are completely around my ear, which is kind of cool. Now, I did go ahead and pair these. You just hold on the button until, obviously, it shows the red and blue flashing, and then you find it. It's like TSB0049, whatever it might be. No code needed, and paired great. The sound quality was awesome. Actually, these headphones, I think, maybe have the heaviest bass of any of the Bluetooth headphones I've tried lately. That's one thing I really noticed, and because you don't have like equalizer controls, at least playing on my iPhone here, man, it was really, really thumping on a lot of the music, and that was something that I didn't really notice in a lot of the other ones. So much so that I just thought it was such a rich, deep sound that these might be the headphones I use all the time. And in fact, the noise cancellation button, which you can see right there, which I also like that it's a software button. You tap it to turn it on and off, and so whenever you power on the headphones from off, the noise cancellation is not on by default. On the other headphones, it's a there's a hardware button, that you actually slide, and sometimes you just forget if the cancellation's on or off, and that can kind of be annoying. So I actually kind of like the fact that it's a software button. But because the bass is so heavy on these, what you tend to get on when you put on active noise cancellation is kind of thins out the sound a little bit. I think it has something to do with the way it's trying to counteract the exterior noise. So I actually turned this on and off, and was clapping my hands and trying to see how it worked, and I thought it worked fine. But if you don't like that real heavy bass, I actually was turning on that noise cancellation just to kind of get a little bit more, a thinner tone to the music, a little less bass with the noise cancellation button. So that's kind of interesting. If you tap the toggle for volume up and down, it actually does control the volume controls on my iPhone in this case. And then if you hold it down, it'll advance or rewind to the previous song. So I like that. Kind of one of my gripes is, as you can see here on the buttons, there are little dimples on each of the buttons, just a single little bump. And that, because it's a single little bump, it's not actually really clear which button you're actually touching. If there was one button, one bump, two bump, three bumps, that would actually kind of be a little nice. Because when they're on, and this is the left side, you're kind of using your thumb to navigate, and it's not always clear where you're at, in my opinion. So that was a little odd. The other thing I should note here is that the power button works as a play pause when you're listening to music, so it did that too. Maybe just a little bit more distinct button form or shape here would be a little nice, but it worked no problem. There were a couple times I just had to take the earphones off to kind of look and see what I was tapping. But man, they feel great. The fact that the headband kind of kicks forward a little bit is nice, so you can kind of put it right where you want. But if you don't want it, if you want it a little further back, there's enough space in the ear cups to be able to twist this headphone to the perfect, most comfortable spot for you. So I really dig these Tsumbay headphones. Not very expensive. Noise cancellation, nice and light. Like I said, just because of the bass, man, I'll be honest, these might be the ones I'm using most of the time. Check it out. I'll put a link to it in the description. Peter Von Panda out. Detroit versus everybody.